Talk about a vicious cycle. I call it the Trump 360. Trump says or tweets something outrageous. The media freaks out, filling their depends with compost. It's the end of the world. I mean, just look at their hair. Then a month later, they realize, damn, the loud, crazy orange guy had a point. And they try to forget it ever happened. Look at ISIS. Oh, how they laughed when Trump said he wouldn't tell the media his secret plan. But then not spilling the beans worked. ISIS was like, whoa, there goes my legs. Didn't see that coming. Don't worry, neither did CNN. Now, remember when Trump lectured NATO allies on defense spending? We laughed. I laughed until they agreed to his demands. I was wrong. Trump railed against trade imbalances. Then, well, we started learning about trade imbalances, and now we have a new deal. People dragged him for his hasty tweet about the wildfires. A week later, experts admitted mismanagement made those fires worse. Trump said Puerto Rico was plagued with corruption, and that was mean and cold. And then city council offices were raided by the FBI, and hurricane donations were found rotting in a parking lot. Remember when Trump said all judges have political leanings? Chuck Schumer tweeted that Trump was wrong, even as Chuck then labeled John Roberts a partisan and a Republican. Wasn't that Trump's point, you preening hair plug? Yeah, you thought you were right, and he was wrong, but whoops. I think Chris sums it up best.
I remember someone teaching me, Jim, when it comes to these kinds of deals, it is voice when it happens in revoice, he used to say to me.
Something's wrong with that man. So there's the trend. The period between a Trump tweet and that realization that it might be correct, it keeps getting smaller, as small as a chipmunk's underpants. Weird visual. Which says something. It's not that Trump's critics have a problem with the truth. They have a problem with Trump saying it. In fact, that's what outrages the media most. That even with Trump's sloppiness, he's often right. He's a cross between Einstein and a drunk. I mean, who here doesn't like their children?
Who here does not like their children? Anybody? I don't see one hand. There's nobody? Got to be somebody.
There's got to be somebody who doesn't like their children. You know, he's not lying. There are a lot of people who hate their kids. I hate my kids, and I don't even have any. Now, take the caravan. Who kept warning everyone that this was not going to end well?
We are sending a simple message to the lawless caravans and to the illegal trespassers marching toward our border. It's very simple. Turn back now. Go back home. We will not let you in.
And how did the media react? They called the caravan a make-believe right-wing dream.
This idea, unfounded, of an invasion of immigrants.
The president falsely described the caravan as an invasion.
For everybody out there that was telling me, no, it's a real story, we're worried about the caravan, they're coming, and Trump's strong enough to... I go back to what I said about Martians coming to my backyard. Well, they're not coming.
Yeah. Boy, does he look stupid. No, more so than usual. That's quite an achievement, because he's kind of stupid every day. As for the horror over pepper spray, the media somehow missed all the times the Border Patrol dispensed tear gas under Obama. I guess if Obama did it, they'd call it disbursement drizzle. And I bet Trump has actually used this stuff less, because when Trump says don't come, then you don't have to spray anyone. So the media mocked Trump for the warnings. Now they're really outraged that he happens to be right. The caravan arrived and Americans were assaulted just doing their jobs. Hell, even the mayor of Tijuana is pissed about the caravan. And he's the mayor of Tijuana. Almost anything goes there. I burned all of that film. Nice. I think. A long time ago, back when you could burn film. So, tell me again, who are the bad guys in this equation? A mob throws bottles and hits us, yet when we respond, we get blamed. Kind of feels like a setup, egged on by a media drooling for a photo. So the people talking compassion may actually care less than a White House trying to maintain order. Trump said it wouldn't end well. They laughed. Then it didn't end well, and they blamed. If only they could listen to him without seeing him, they'd probably feel differently.
We're not letting people into our country unless they come in legally, and we want people to come in through merit.
Oh, I can't stand this guy. He says terrible things, none of which are correct, by the way.
About the immigrants? Obama made the same point in like 2005.
Really? Well, it just sounds so much worse coming from him.
Having trouble admitting Trump's right sometimes?
Yes, I am. Even when he has a point. I just hate it when he says it.
Sounds like you need Trump blockers.
Trump blockers? What are those?
Trump blockers are the hottest shades that make you think a politician you like said something instead of Donald Trump. Just put these glasses on and you'll instantly see the truth from who you want to hear it from.
I built an unbelievable company, a great company. I filed papers with federal election. You don't build companies like that unless you have the right temperament. Republicans want to protect Medicare for our great seniors who have earned it and who have paid for it all their lives.
Wow, that makes sense.
Women's unemployment has just fallen to 3.6%, which is only the lowest rate in 65 years. I'm sorry.
Wow, that's a good point.
The elite. The elite. Why are they elite? I have a much better apartment than they do. I'm smarter than they are. I'm richer than they are.
How does Obama come up with this stuff?
So get your Trump blockers today.
I love my Trump blockers, but there is one side effect, even when I'm not wearing them. Hey, Timmy, how was your weekend?
And, you know, at the end of the week, I meet with China. I meet with a lot of other countries that have not treated us too well, but we're doing extremely well.
See what I mean? Hey, Kat, looking good.
Other than the blonde hair, when I was growing up, they said I looked like Elvis. You see that?
Totally. Thanks, Trump blockers.
All right, let's welcome tonight's guest. His tattoos could beat up your tattoos. Retired Green Beret Master Sergeant Terry Shepard. He's a mole with no soul and could leave you in a hole. Former CIA operative, intelligence president Mike Baker. Her glasses are as thick as molasses. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. And every step he takes creates a new pool for the kids. Former WWE superstar, massive sidekick, and host of Un-PC on Fox Nation, Tyrus. All right.
Fantastic.
Terry,
That was fantastic.
I think that that's the solution.
That's it. You
take everything Trump says and filter it through the body of Obama, and you get you have the world. You have the perfect thing.
You just solved everything in the country right there.
I did. I do that. I like to do that.
Yeah, you know,
I could solve also your shoe choices.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, it's interesting.
Get those off of James Brown. Where did you get these from?
Where did?
Okay, just so you know, America, they say nothing backstage, and I come out here and they give me a bunch of stuff. Hey, by the way,
yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
And you know what reminds me? Remember that movie? Stop touching me. They Live.
They Live.
The movie
that was
They
the
Live.
idea.
Oh,
I stole this from They Live.
Okay, because by the way, one of my favorite sci-fi movies, John Carpenter, Roddy Piper.
Right.
He puts if they haven't seen it, it's worth seeing. It's a really great movie. He puts on the glasses, and then he sees that basically all these authority figures are actually aliens that are running the show, and there's also subliminal messages, and he figures it out. And it's like, you got to give this credit to Trump as well for this, whether you like him or hate him. He's gotten us talking about who knew anything about. I did because I'm very smart. And I'm a special forces guy. But like, who knew anything about NATO?
Yeah.
Who knew anything about NAFTA? Who knew anything about all this stuff? So people are going, wait a minute, because remember, Trump looks at America as the new Trump Corporation.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
No, you're right.
That's what he does. So he's sitting, he's going, hey, buddy, what is this NATO thing? We're doing this. We're not getting this. No, fix that.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that's always the best way to go, but it's actually working because he's looking at everything with a hard line going, I know it's been 20, 30, 40 years. We're getting screwed on this.
Yeah, you know what it is?
Working.
You know what it is, Mike? It's like, okay, he's like a guy who takes over a business and asks really dumb questions that no one else will ask. Right. It's like, can we just get rid of this or can we do that? I don't know. Can we do that? And then you end up with a A national poli-sci class, because I don't know crap about NATO. I don't know crap about trade.
Now you do.
I do. I was forced to. I don't want to know these things. But Trump, because Trump asks dumb questions, then the dumb questions go in a certain path that leads to actually interesting answers.
Right. When was the last time anybody, show of hands, anybody was interested in watching the G20 summit? Right? No,
we can't show the audience, Mike.
Yeah, oh,
I saw one person raise their hand, by the way.
Yeah.
Anybody over here on this side?
Yes.
One.
Yeah. So it's and you're right. It is like in the old school days, right? When nobody wanted to ask the question, but then when you finally got that one kid who just I don't get it. He'd ask the question. Everybody else was like, thank God he said that.
Yes.
Because nobody knew what the hell was going on.
And that's how stuff gets fixed.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, we're going to have this for the next 4 years, or the next 2 more years, right? People keep talking about, well, when is it going to happen? When is the resistance going away? When are they going to wind this down? They're not, is the answer. Just like the Mueller investigation is not going away. It's going to keep ticking along.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about this because, I mean, it's the world we live in.
Yeah, it is the world we live in.
It is the world we live in. That's one of those statements you can say to wrap things up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're always happy when Mike does wrap things up because he tends to ramble. Yeah. And 80 to 90% of what he says, we don't even know.
Because I don't do my research.
You don't, Kat. You always do your research.
I do.
You do. This is why I think Trump kept asking if he could fire people, because he didn't know. He's like, can I fire that person? He's just like, can I fire the police? Or because he just does, and then you somehow stumble towards an answer and he ends up being right.
Well, it doesn't matter what he does. People who are liberal are still going to hate him because the election broke their hearts.
Right.
The way that they feel about Trump is exactly the way I feel about my ex-boyfriend.
Of course.
No matter what he does, it doesn't matter. My ex-boyfriend could invent a cure for the common cold, and would I give him credit for it?
No.
No, I would start a cult that teaches that sneezing and coughing are the way into heaven. That's what I would do. But it's weird that they're so emotionally affected because they don't even know the guy.
Yeah.
And it controls all their emotions. It's quite sad.
I think, though, in a way, we all know Trump because we have someone like him in our lives. I always call him the rich, obnoxious uncle who knows everything. Yeah. And so when he comes over, I think I'm that guy. But generally, I just go sit in the garage and get drunk, Tyrus, because that's what I do.
Sure, absolutely. I've seen him do it. He gets drunk in the garage all the time. Great. Now let's go to commercial.
Yes.
Do you have a question?
No, because I assume that
you have a garage?
You have a way to wrap this all together.
You know, I'm very proud of you that you solved the division in this country.
Yes.
Barack Obama and Trump's voice.
Put them together.
And they cheered for Barack Obama, so this is a big, it works. It works.
That is true.
Because
the audience cheered.
There's two things you can count on this show. You being weird and you say Obama, or you say Hillary, you're going to get some booze. The only thing I think, even if you took Hillary with Trump's voice, you'd still get a couple, I don't know. I don't know. So, it's an amazing moment.
Yes.
And I'm glad this is like watching somebody walk on the moon for the first time. Like,
it's a good step forward.
We literally could just walk into the next town hall with people yelling and screaming at each other. I will set up the projector.
Yes.
Watch this, y'all.
I'm telling you.
You've done it.
I've done it. I think I can
Put this in a
retire
bottle.
now. I'm going to leave. I'll see you guys later. Oh, no. Speaking of which, Hillary, up next, that's called the transition.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a pro.